Hello and welcome to FinextraTV's Unplugged series. I'm Hannah Wallace, and kindly joining us on the call now is Serina Hourican, Head of Commercial Sales for APAC, Bank of America. Hi Serina, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome back.
Hi, Hannah. It's great to be here, although virtually.
Exactly, yeah. Normally we'd be face to face in the studio, I know, but we've had to make a lot of changes, as has the industry, and that's really where I want to start, because we've been making these changes, one of which is the rapid move from paper-based to digital documentation, which I'm sure many of your commercial clients would have experienced. So, do you think the industry is now looking at a new normal with the way we work, or do you think we're going to return to the way things were?
So, Hannah, I think the pandemic has really forced both banks and corporates to accelerate their shift from paper to digital, not only in the payment transaction space, but also across all processes. So, for me, the onboarding and KYC process is well known for being heavily paper-based, but with the introduction of electronic signatures and the ability to upload documents online, this has really helped Treasury functions to keep as business as usual during the lockdown period.
Mhm.
Um, I would hope to expect to see the adoption of e-signatures used in more countries, as it really is a more efficient way of doing business and will hopefully help regulators to review their policies to be more accommodating of digital capabilities. The other thing I've seen from clients is the use of checks, many of which at this moment of time are stuck in their offices, unable to be cleared, which could result in cash flow difficulties. It's situations like this that should encourage Treasury teams to really digitalize their payments and their receipts end to end, and also really encourage their customers to pay them using digital payments.
Mm.
I really think in the future this will be the way forward. And for me, I really think digital leads to more simplicity.
All right. And can you tell us a bit more about your role then as head of commercial sales for Asia Pacific? What are some of the lessons learned by your clients that might be able to help those based in EMEA, say?
Well, I think there's a lot of lessons learned, which EMEA treasurers are already really busy working on. For example, putting into action their business continuity plans, knowing those business continuity plans of their vendors and suppliers, ensuring they have adequate credit facilities in place and liquidity, but also enhancing their IT to reduce fraud. However, continuing on the digital theme, the APAC region was really one of the first to embrace digital disbursements in the form of e-wallets. So Bank of America have partnered with China Union Pay, so we can support our clients to collect funds from various channels and not just credit cards, but e-wallets as well. In China, we've seen this is a very popular method, especially in the business to consumer space. So consumers are able to even use QR codes, which then will reroute the payment directly to our clients. And what comes with it is really enhanced reporting and reconciliation capabilities as well.
All right. And of course, we've seen and heard a lot of advice about working from home and keeping that good balance between your work life and your home life. But how do corporate treasurers do this if they have employees based in different time zones? What about that?
So, over the past few years, I have seen a theme with our US headquartered commercial clients in centralizing their treasury functions, their international treasury functions, whether that's either in EMEA or in APAC. So, this means having to manage multiple people in multiple locations across multiple time zones, which is difficult enough anyway, without adding some of those countries or all of those countries being in lockdown. So, one of the most important mantras that I stick by as a manager is trust the team. At this time, we all need to be flexible and conscious that working 9 to 5 might not work for everyone. So, for example, those who have children they need to care for. The other thing I do is also ensure regular one-to-ones are in place and team meetings at a time that's suitable for everyone, so we can all connect on top of the normal day to day. I'm also conscious that if I ever need any information or analysis done, to ask for that with sufficient time, given that if I'm sat in EMEA asking for something, right now it's already well into the evening, so I might not be able to get that information until tomorrow. I think the other thing that has been really helpful, and just like we're doing now, is the use of video calling. I think it really helps to make people feel connected, make teams feel connected, especially for teams who work in remote areas, and some of them haven't even met each other before. So I think it's important to use that video calling, not only for meetings, but to organize, social events as well. The other way I found it effective is with clients. So doing that video calling with clients, and making sure it's in a time zone, or in a time rather, that suits them.
That's interesting. I think as we move away from the office day and the 9 to 5, like you say, we need to make changes in the expectations we work within. All right, and I want to end on sort of the following up advice you'd give to corporate treasurers going forward in the next 6 months, say. What should they be thinking about, and how can they best prepare?
Sure, thanks, Hannah. So my first tip would be bringing it back to basics for treasurers, and that's security, liquidity, and yield. So in March, we saw the Fed cut US rates twice, which then triggered a tidal wave of rate cuts in other countries across the world. So given this new environment that we're in, we've seen a flight of safety of deposits. So therefore showing that security and liquidity are very important, and yield less so. And that really brings me on to my next point, which is around forecasting. So it's really important that corporates have accurate and robust forecasting. So even corporates who are cash rich or are in strong performing industries need to ensure they have enough they need to be prepared that they have enough funding needs for any last minute requests. I would say it's really essential to invest in good, powerful forecasting tools. And I see so many times corporates still using spreadsheets manually. And I think now is really the time to upgrade from a spreadsheet. My last tip would be around fraud. So unfortunately, we are still seeing people exploit the pandemic. And I find that the threats are becoming more and more sophisticated. So corporates really need to look at their fraud policies. We've moved to a new environment of working from home. Has that IT policy adapted to that new working from home remote environment? Do they have the home security checklists issued? Do employees need reminding of, if they feel like they've been compromised, what action do they need to take? So I really think corporates need to be, prepared and ready to control, and also ready to respond to any cyber attack that they might see. And unfortunately, I think we will be seeing it more and more, especially in the payment space.
Some good advice there, Serina. And I think it's fair to say some interesting and quite challenging times ahead all the same. But it's been great speaking with you again. Thank you so much for taking part today.
Thank you so much, Hannah. It's a pleasure to be here.